That's a great question, Donna. I will tell you that I do have a plan, and the biggest part of it is making sure that the money going into the Transportation Trust Fund is actually spent on transportation. That has not been happening. In the last fiscal year, the state police were paid, I shouldn't say paid, but they took $60 million from the Transportation Trust Fund to fund the Department of Public Safety. The governor's executive budget for the current fiscal year had increased that to $72 million. It's not illegal, it's allowed, but I can tell you the people who are paying the gas tax and the diesel tax don't think when they do that they're paying for state police. And so unless we restore the trust in the Transportation Trust Fund, we can't move forward with some of the other things you were asking about. We did take a very hard vote that I voted on this year to increase the fee associated with transferring automobile titles, and it had not been increased in 30 years. It is now very much in line with what other states charge, but the price went from $18.50 per title to $58. I'm sorry, to $68.50. So it's a $50 increase, but that is enough money to get the state police completely out of the Transportation Trust Fund, which should happen with a BA7 and the Joint Legislative Committee on the Budget very, very quickly if it hasn't happened. That $60 million then stays in the Transportation Trust Fund to go to transportation infrastructure needs, roads and bridges and ports. The other big component of my plan is to take another 25% of the capital outlay and spend that on transportation projects. Right now, about 25% is spent on transportation. I want another 25% for a total of 50%, which would be another $75 million a year. What a governor gives up when they do that is capital outlay is the currency used by the governor to buy votes from the legislature on things that the legislature really doesn't want to vote for. But it's more important that we actually move forward with transportation needs. And I have never cut a deal in 8 years in the legislature to vote for a policy I didn't like in exchange for capital outlay. And I have been an effective legislator. So I feel like I can be an effective governor on the other side by convincing legislators of the rightness of my policies and trying to bring them together. Now, if we restore trust in the Transportation Trust Fund and we increase the investment, as I just mentioned, which would be another $135 million a year, we're going to find pretty quickly it still isn't enough. But we will have set the conditions necessary to move forward with additional revenue, whether it's the 1% sales tax that some people prefer, or a 10-cent gas tax, or some other alternative that I am absolutely open to. But I will tell you, I cannot support an increase in taxes flowing to the Transportation Trust Fund until every penny in the Transportation Trust Fund is going to transportation, because the people of Louisiana won't tolerate that.